Welcome back to class, dear students. In this lesson, we are going to discuss about the CSS box model and layout. So, what's the box model? When you talk about layout, what's it then? How does the box model work in CSS? So, the CSS box model is a fundamental concept that dictates how elements are displayed and interact with each other on the page. It includes content, padding, border, and margin. So those are the four things that makes the CSS box analysis. So I will still show you a kind of graphics to help. That's a brilliant and good graphics from. That's why I used to say these resources are essential. You should ensure you try to go and learn more from them. So if we go to Web3 box model, W3 schools, I say Web3. If we go here, good. So this is what we are talking about. So you have the content, then surrounded by padding. So that's the space immediately after your content and between your content and the border. Then after that, we have a margin. This usually is transparent, but you can see this, the border. Then you have a padding that gives space between the border and the content itself, and the content is always like the center of all. So that's what brought about that box model idea, which you have a lot of examples in them you can check. Now, each element on a page is considered as a box, and understand this model allows for precise control over layout. So just like when you want to style your layout, you can say, okay, I want this to have so margin from another content. So if you want to space just here between here and the border, you won't go and be styling the border or styling the margin. So this is just for you to know what to target. That okay, I should be styling the padding, not the margin, because what I actually need is that content giving a big space from the border, and this margin is actually what is now like between, and the border like between your content and other content on the same page. So like different HTML, this content represent like an HTML element or tag. So you can use this now to be able to be precise. So that's the advantage of this. And let's try and apply the box model. I've tried to make sure the codes example are there and helpful. So usually, we apply it practically. We are working with a capstone, which is to build a full stack dApp and like at least maybe a minter dApp. Even if we adjust later, at least that's what we are focusing on. So that each time we learn something, we apply it to a practical life project, which is the full stack full stack minter dApp. So which is a capstone. We've done the HTML, and there is the code from the previous lesson, and I've tried to put the HTML. You have the HTML because we are using external, so then we have the HTML code separate and the CSS code. And then when you add the style, that's not for main content area, styling for article, styling for the form inside the section, and some other things like that. Then for the HTML, so let's try and add some of this. So if you had the main content, you can see it now. It helps us to give it some box because we can now do padding, we can do border, we can do a lot of things. Like I told you, this your content HTML element which contain both the tag and the opening tag, the content and the closing tag. Now this is like the content is in a box. Then after it you have the padding. Then as you are, it's surrounded with a border. And then you now have a margin that gap it, give a margin between the another element and so all this you can pick each of them and give them, you know, like this main now, like the main of the site, you can see it, you now have a border all around which you can play around with. You can change the color, you can change the padding, you can change the margin. You understand what I'm saying? Let's change this to 2. Let's see. Do you see it? That becomes closer to the next element. Do you see it now? It's much closer now. Because like I told you, you now know what to actually target. Because if this is what you tend to do, you won't go and be changing the border. You understand what I'm saying? Because that is in between the margin, then the border is what is here in between. Then before you have the, if we change the border now, like that thick one, do you see it? The border become much thicker, and the padding is between it and the content. Let's reduce this to 1, and you see that the content becomes very much closer to the border. You can see it. So you can make it excessive. Oop. You see them, they shrink so much inside to create space between this. So this, the content, this place is the what? The padding, as you have seen it. Then this is the border around it. The border is visible. You can make it like 0 to not be visible. It could be, but the margin usually is transparent. It's not like visible like that. So, but it's there. So that's why if we give it 10, see this as well change. So you now see that if you are able to get that box, it makes your being able to know that, okay, I want space here. I should be adjusting the margin. I should be adjusting the border. No, I should be adjusting the padding. You don't understand. So that's the basic thing that this box model helps you. And when you take a grab of it, like you have seen it now, you will actually be able to, you know, this is so excessive. Yeah, you can see now. So now we can even make it 1, and then you see very close. You see it very, very close. So, and this you can change it from solid, I think, dots. Or dash or something. Let's see, dashed, and let's retry. Do you see it? So you can change it. Each of it has their own kind of values. Some have multiple, some have single. So this is the thickness of that border. So if we turn it to 2, you see it become tiny. Do you see it now? So, but this, what type of, should it be dash, should it be block, should it be, and this for sure talks about what should be the color of the border. You see it, I've turned it to like something. So all these are the features when you have a graph of the box model. So it's a kind of a simple concept, but so can be so confusing. So if that's why I love these graphics, and I've also done it practically for you here. which we have seen it practically done here as well. So if you have any question, you need support, always remember, use the comment for the author, for me or any other author of content on DPE to respond to you. If you should join the Discord to meet other Web3 developer, collaborate and get up-to-date daily information from me and other team in the Programming University. But for support for this lesson, please, it's not, if you post it on Discord, I will ignore you. So you have to come here, check if it's existing question asked. You can just say, oh, it helps you as well. Don't repeat the same. But if it has not been asked, you are free ask, and usually within 72 hours I respond. I think usually now I respond like 24 hours less, far less, maybe 4 hours, 30 minutes. But at times when there are lots of students to attend to, maybe within 72 hours you should get a response. So that's it. I remain Solomon Foske, the Programming University. Keep the programming spirit and alive, and please always do good to humanity and nature with your programming skill and not evil, to make the world and universe a better place for us all. See you in the next lesson. Peace.